In the past few months, the NCAA has come out and allowed athletes to start making money from their name, image, likeness. But is this really solving the problem, especially in college basketball, with athletes not receiving the proper amount they think they deserve? And now with the NBA still allowing that 1 year where athletes have to sit out and not go directly into the NBA, these athletes still do not want to go to college and just want to get paid right off the bat. And this is now being helped with leagues like the Professional Collegiate League and Overtime Elite League coming in and giving these athletes the opportunity to make money by playing basketball and get them prepared for the NBA. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down because it's your thumb, and let's go ahead and get into it. First up is the Professional Collegiate League, also known as the PCL. And their main goal and their main statement they always show over and over again is the fact that they are reimagining college sports. And they have spoke very publicly about their dislike for the NCAA and how they control athletes in their time. The kind of athletes they are searching for are male athletes that come from low socioeconomic situations and or minorities, because they want to help those specific people grow their talent and possibly reach their dream of the NBA. Some of the player benefits that these athletes will be receiving by participating in the PCL is that they'll be getting salaries from $50,000 to $150,000 guaranteed for all the time they participate in the league, as well as being provided workshops and seminars which provide them for life skills like financial literacy. Every athlete will be provided a 5-year scholarship, some that are need-based and others that are based upon talent, that can be paused and resumed after they're finished playing in the NBA if that's the route they decide to go. These athletes will also be able to participate in sneaker deals and other endorsements that college athletes still cannot participate with the NCAA's NIL bill. But these athletes do have to participate in some form of education, and they can do this through a university, a junior college, or a tech school that is 4 or 2 years. And the benefit of this league and the way they're setting up their season is that most of the games will be played in the summer, so it allows these athletes to not have to miss class. And they will also be able to have an agent, which is something that you obviously cannot have in college basketball still when it comes to your talent, not necessarily just dealing with your marketing side of the NIL. Overtime Elite is more of a pro-career focused and accelerator program. That is why it is a year-round living, learning, and training in Atlanta space that these athletes can go through and prepare themselves for those careers. The league will be made up of 30 athletes that are either high school seniors, juniors, or postgraduate international players. They will play within the league as well as playing teams globally and other prep schools and academies and clubs around the United States. The benefits that Overtime Elite League players will receive is that they get a guaranteed minimum of $100,000 a year with the opportunity of bonuses, and they will also receive equity in the Overtime brand. They will receive revenue from their name, image, likeness, as well as jerseys, and be able to participate in NFTs, things that are still not allowed with the NCAA's NIL bill just yet. These players will receive healthcare coverage, disability insurance, and money protection, as well as a guaranteed $100,000 for college tuition just in case they choose not to go to the NBA. And they'll be playing against American prep schools as well as other international clubs during their time in the league. These athletes will receive some form of an education, but as I already said, it is a basketball focused league, and the classes and things that will be attending are things like media training, sports advocacy, basketball and sports business, and how to handle their money in the future. As both of these leagues have their pros and cons, I would say the biggest pros do go to Overtime Elite League, as it is there to prepare these athletes for the NBA and the professional careers they want to, as well as these athletes get $100,000 minimum, every single one of them. Unlike with the PCL, they could get anywhere between $50,000 and $150,000. The biggest pro that I see with the PCL is that it is ran by a former NBA champion, their CEO, who is David West, who played with the Golden State Warriors, and their CEO, who is Ricky Valtan, who really are focused on making these athletes better and want them to have a better college experience and prepare them for life that's not necessarily related to basketball. Another one of their pros is that the Professional Collegiate League already has TV deals put in place. They announced recently that they struck a deal with Next Level Sports and for the fans so that people can watch these games in 44 countries, as well as they can be seen on cable and digital, which is very important because these athletes are giving up their opportunity to play in college sports where those TV deals and TV time are basically guaranteed. The other big con that stands out to me when it comes to the Professional Collegiate League is that they haven't signed anyone. They want to kind of get their season started and get the ground working in September, but it's already August and you haven't signed anyone. It's hard to get people on brand with something that they have nothing to look at and see to. The pros for Overtime Elite is a long-running list. Their commissioner and president, Aaron Ryan, has 22 years experience in the NBA. Their head of basketball is a former NBA executive, as well as a player, Brandon Williams. Their head coach and director of player development is Kevin Ashleigh, who worked as a head coach and won a national championship with UConn, as well as spent some time in the NBA. Overtime Elite has a lot of potential for sustainability, which is something I don't quite see yet with the PCL, as they have already made $80 million in funding from investors like Drake, Trae Young, and Jeff Bezos, just to name a few, who are giving these athletes the potential to do these things. And that is something that the PCL just hasn't developed yet. And with those kind of investors, that gives athletes the guarantee that they kind of need to make this step. And that is why they have signed 12 players already and started their workouts and really gotten their league off the ground. Unlike PCL, the only con I can see with the Overtime Elite League is that it is very heavy on basketball. And since they'll be reaching out and looking at players who are skipping their junior and senior year of high school, I think it's very important for them to maybe intertwine a little bit more education that is outside of basketball, because they are missing out on half their high school education. Now that you know so much about the Professional Collegiate League and Overtime Elite League, make sure to check out the last video I made, which was about the G League Ignite team and how that got started and what it is all about and why a lot of athletes are running to join that as well. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every time I post a new video, which are on Mondays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know down in the comments below which league you think these upcoming college basketball players should be participating in. I'm leaning more towards Overtime Elite League, so let me know what you think, and remember, don't be afraid to join the convo. Our CEO, who is Ricky Gervais. Nope, that ain't it.